You're welcome to another fun tutorial. This adorable crochet baby ruffle romper is perfect for a newborn's first photo shoot. So this pattern features the alpine stitch you can see from the chest area. It features the alpine stitch and is designed for beginners to intermediate crocheters, and it includes detailed steps to help you create soft, stylish romper for babies aged 0 to 3 months. But the guidelines that I'm going to give you, you can recreate this for older babies. Alright, just make sure that you have their correct measurements and you're good to go. Without talking much, let's get right into the materials that we'll be needing for this romper. For materials, a DK weight size 3 cotton will do, else you can get soft acrylic yarn. What I'll be using for this project is acrylic yarn. It's fingering weight and it's 40 grams. I'm going to be using about 5 of this, and then you're going to be using 2 small buttons for closure. You'll be needing stitch markers, darning needle or tapestry needle, cutter. I'll be using 3mm hook. You can use any hook size that corresponds with your yarn weight, and also a measuring tape. I know that using this hook size and this yarn weight, 6 stitches measures 1 inch for me. So you need to work a quick gauge swatch to be able to know what number of stitches measures an inch for you. So I believe you already know how to work a slip knot, and then chain about 14. And then start working a double crochet row. So for me, chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch, so I'm going into the 3rd chain from the hook, and I'll start creating my double crochet row just to know how many stitches I'll be needing for my foundation chain. Don't stretch, just put the tape measure on it. Make sure that you have your stitches. So you can see mine. You see where the mark is, right? You see where 1 inch is. So counting from where the 1 inch mark is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 stitches gives me 1 inch. So now let's talk about the measurements. So write that down so you don't forget. And then for 0 to 3 months ruffle romper measurement, waist is 17 to 18 because babies differ. A baby within this age range can be 17 inch in waist or 18 inches. Same applies to the hip, 18 to 19 inches. But I know that the yarn I'm using can stretch, so I'm going to go with 17 inch for the waist. But I know that when I stretch it, it can accommodate a hip size of up to 19 inches. So having that measurement in mind you, I said I'm going to go with 17 inch. You can choose whichever one you want to go with. Now I'm going to multiply 17 by the 6 stitches that I have, and that gives me 102, which means 102 chains will make my foundation chain. All right, that is very good because for the pattern that we will be working on the top part of the romper, we need an odd number. So when I divide 102 by 2, it gives me 51. So that means that the front part of the romper is going to be an odd number, and it works perfectly for me. So this is what you do. If yours do not give you a number that can be divided by 2 and the result will be an odd number, then you may need to add or subtract stitches from your foundation chain stitch. It will not affect anything. Okay. All right. So I'm going to begin with the foundation chain of 102, but I'm going to add an extra 2, which will be my turning chain, because remember in this example I made for you, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So that is going to be the extra 2 that I'll be adding to the 102 to make a total of 104 chains. So let's begin working on the waistband. Create a slip knot and then chain your desired number of foundation chains. I'll meet you once I have my 102 chains. So I've got my 102 and let me add the extra 2 for turning. So now yarn over and then make sure that you skip the first 2 that you added. Then make a double crochet into the third chain, and then you'll continue making 1 double crochet into each of the chains. Let me quickly take a measurement for you to see what I'm talking about, heat stretching. So without stretching, let's see. Without stretching, this is resting at about 18 inches, even a little bit over 18 inches. Now, if I should stretch, it even goes beyond 19 inches. So do you see? So now I'm going to show you how I connect this row of double crochet. So make sure it is laying flat like this, not twisted. Then slip stitch to the beginning double crochet that you did. Let me bring it closer. So slip stitch into the beginning double crochet like so. Then you're going to chain 3 and turn the work to the wrong side and slip stitch into the first double crochet stitch, but the bottom part of it like so. Okay, now turn. So when you turn, the right side will now be facing you. That's the neat part of the work. Now you're going to connect this with a slip stitch to the first double crochet, this one. I think this is the foundation chain area. So you're going to connect into the first chain with a slip stitch like so. And you see, we've joined it to form the band. So let me show you something. You remember the chain 2 that we started with? The one that I said is a turning chain, doesn't count as a stitch. That is it in the middle over here. Please do not count this as a stitch. So in order not to make that mistake, take your stitch marker and then let's turn this way. You see the chain? So insert your stitch marker, okay, into that, beside the chain 2 stitch, but pick it with the actual double crochet stitch. Pick it together and mark it. Alright, now you can turn your work back and let's start creating the waistband. So for this, we're going to be doing a ribbon. It simply means that we're going to be working a front post and a back post double crochet. So chain up. Usually I like to just chain up 1, yarn over, and then go into the side of the stitch, not in the top, in the side of the stitch like so. So you come up from the back, go around the stitch and come into the front like so, yarn over around it and just create your double crochet like you usually do. Now you're going to yarn over and then go into the back like so. Now you're coming to the front, go around the double crochet stitch, pop right back into the back, pull that loop through it, and then create your back post. So now you're going to yarn over. Now going into the next stitch, we're doing a front post now. So we do front post double crochet, back post double crochet, and then the next one is a front post. So like I showed you before, insert your hook from the front to the back, bring it around that stitch. Pop it up like this. Okay. The light is disturbing me a little bit, so I think you can see it now. And then yarn over, pull through like you're making a double crochet, and just continue and finish that double crochet stitch. Then you yarn over again, go right this time around. For the back post, you go from behind to the front around the double crochet stitch like so. Now yarn over, pull through and create that double crochet stitch. So this is all you're going to be doing for the entire round. Okay, so I am at the stitch where the marker is now, and so I'm going to take that out, and then I'm going to work a back post double crochet. Okay, so that is it. So if you began with a front post, you're going to end with a back post. Now slip stitch into the first front post double crochet and join. So you can already see how small the waist is looking. This stitch gives it a stretch, alright, and it shrinks it, but you can stretch it out. Okay, so going to the next round, you're going to chain one, and then you're going to now work front post around the previous front post. So all you're going to do is insert your hook from the front to the back and back here like so, and then double crochet around it. So you're working every front post on top of the previous front post and every back post on top of, or not on top, but around the previous back post. So for the back post now, we're going to go from the back around that double crochet that you did, and then work a back post. I'm taking my time to explain so that this video is beginner friendly as possible. Now, you see what I am doing? So yarn over again, and now you're going into the back post. So like I said, every back post receives another back post, and every front post receives a front post. And you're going to do this for a total of 5 rounds. Okay? And so continue until you finish and you get to the last one, which is going to be a back post double crochet. Then you slip stitch to the beginning, and then you repeat the same pattern until you have 5 rows. Okay, so I am at my 5th round, and this is the last stitch, the back post double crochet. Now slip stitch to the beginning, front post double crochet, and then slip stitch into the next stitch, which is a back post double crochet. So chain one. Now what we're going to do is to make a single crochet, a back post single crochet. So all that means is that you're going to go behind the back post and just yarn over, pull through, and make a single crochet stitch. Then you chain 2, and then you're going to skip the front post. So all you're going to be doing are single crochet around the back post, like so. Chain 2, skip the front post, go into the back, around the back post. Okay, draw up a loop, and single crochet, chain 2, and repeat that for the entire back post. Okay, so this is the very last single crochet stitch that I'm making. Now chain 2 and slip stitch into the first single crochet back post that you did. Now slip stitch into the chain 2 space, chain 2, doesn't count as a stitch. Now place 2 double crochet into each of the chain 2 spaces. You're going to do this all the way around. Okay, so I'm on the last stitch and now I'm going to slip stitch to the beginning double crochet, not the chain 2 that you started with, the double crochet stitch, like so. So when you count all these, you should get the exact number that you started with. Remember, I started with 102 stitches. So after counting, I have exactly 102 stitches. Now we're going to chain 2 and we're going to turn our work, okay, so that the seam can be straight. If we don't turn our work, the seam is going to slant. I don't want that. So turn, and then into the first double crochet, this one, you're going to insert your hook and crochet a double crochet. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way around until you get to this last one where the chain 2 is coming out from. You will still place a double crochet into that stitch. If you don't, your stitch is going to decrease by 1. So make sure you put a stitch into that and then slip stitch to the beginning double crochet. Alright, so we are going to do this until this piece measures up to 4.5 inches. So depending on your yarn weight and your hook, I don't know how many rows that is going to be for you. So just make sure that you are measuring, and once it is at 4.5, you stop and then would now work on the leg opening. I'm at the end of this round, so this is the very last stitch where the chain 2 is coming out from. So now place the last stitch in there and then join with the slip stitch to the beginning double crochet. Chain 2 and turn. Now go into the first double crochet, insert your hook and begin stitching. So 1 double crochet all the way around. We are working no increase whatsoever. Okay, we are not working any increase. So we're just working 1 double crochet into every stitch all the way around, and we're going to do this until it measures 4.5 like I said. So I'm going all the way to this point. So once I get to that mark, we will start decreasing for the leg opening. So you can pause the video at this point and then work on yours. Once you get to the mark of 4.5, then you can press play and let's continue. Alright, so I am at my 4.5-inch mark. We begin decreasing for the leg opening. And to do that, remember the stitch count you were working with. I started with 102 and I'm ending with 102. So now what I'm going to do is to divide into half. So this is where I ended my stitch. So I'm going to take a stitch marker. So I'm just going to count and divide into 2 and then mark the middle point. Okay. So after counting, this is my 51st stitch, and so I'm going to insert the marker in between the stitches like this, not into any particular one, but just in between, so that I know that from here to this side is also 51. Okay, and this is where I ended my stitch. This is that chain 2 that never counts as a stitch, so it means that in between here is also my half point. Alright, so now let's divide for the chest area as well. So from where you ended your stitch, follow that stitch and look for the first single crochet that you did before the chain 2. You remember the single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, back loop that we did? Okay, so that very single crochet stitch, just follow it. And it was on the back loop, right? This is it. So follow it and mark that stitch. Now, from that stitch, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're counting until you have your half mark. Okay, so for me, I have to count until I have 51 stitches. Okay, so then when you count the remaining stitches up until this point, you should have exact 51 stitches as well, or the half that you counted here, you should have the same half over here. Now what we're going to do is to work on the bottom part. So you can decide whichever one you want as your front or your back. It's all up to you. Now, I'm going to work on the back first. So I'm going to skip 1 inch. Remember that 6 stitches for me gives me an inch. A quick one. So I decided to remove the stitch marker and place it in between the stitches. So this stitch is 51, but I'm going to put it in the middle like this. So I know that when I come here, I know from here going is 51. From here going is 51. All right, now let's go back to the bottom area. So like I said, my 6 stitches gives me 1 inch, and so I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my next stitch is going to begin in this following stitch. So I'm going to mark that middle, and then I'm going to come here and do the same thing. So skip 2, 4, 6 and mark the middle here. So you see where I'm placing the marker, not into any particular stitch, but just in between, so I know from here is different, from here is different. Okay, so this is going to serve as my back. Don't remove these side ones as yet. All right, this is just to show you where we are starting for the back side. So at this point, you can choose to cut your yarn and reattach it here, or you can choose to slip stitch all the way to this point, and then you can begin. So whichever one works best for you, you do that. But for me, I'm going to slip stitch all the way to that point. And so I'm going to turn my work, chain 1, and turn, and then slip stitch into all the 6 stitches in between. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm beginning my work properly from here. So I'm going to slip stitch into that one as well. Alright, so to begin, chain up 2, doesn't count as a stitch. Work 1 double crochet into that stitch. And now we're going to decrease. And so now going to decrease into the next 2 stitches. I think you know how to work a decrease. So this is just how to do it. And then that is stitching 2 together. I'm going to do it one more time. So I've worked 2 decreases into the first row. Now you're going to crochet 1 into each stitch until you get to there, until you have 5 stitches remaining. Now chain 2, doesn't count as a stitch. Turn, and into that same stitch make 1 double crochet. Do not finish because you're still decreasing. Now go into the next stitch like so. Now pull through all. Now you can continue with 1 double crochet into each of the stitches until you get to this point. You have 2 stitches remaining, and then we'll work another decrease at the end. So you work a decrease in the beginning of the row and at the end of the row. Okay, so I have 5 stitches left, and now let's decrease. So yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop. You've got 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull it through 2. Okay, now yarn over again, go into the next stitch, pull up that loop. Now you have 4, pull through 2, so you've got 3 now. So pull, yarn over and pull through all the 3. That is how you decrease 2 together. All right, I don't want to assume you know it, so I'm taking my time to show you. So do it again. Like so. Okay, now yarn over and then into the last stitch, make 1 double crochet. Alright, so I'm at the last end of the row and I have 2 stitches remaining, so decrease over those 2 remaining stitches, meaning double crochet 2 together. Now chain 2, turn, and into that same stitch make a double crochet, but don't finish. Now yarn over, go into the next stitch and also make a double crochet, don't finish. Now yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops on the hook. You just made another decrease. So you're going to keep making the decreases at the beginning and at the end of each row until the fabric remaining measures 3 inches. Then we can stop and then go work on the front part. So I'll meet you once your fabric is left with 3 inches. Okay? So this is just to show you that 1 ball of 40 gram did this so far. So I'm attaching my second yarn, and then I'll see you on the flip side. Alright, so I am at the end of this row, and let me take a measurement and be sure. So this is my very last stitch, and this is the last one on this side. So I'm at my 3 inches mark. Now I can chain and fasten up. So chain 1 and then cut the yarn. So now what we're going to do is to attach on this side. So this is the back. Now we're going to work on the front part. So remember the stitch markers in the sides. Now you're going to count 2 inches in. So that is 12 stitches for me. So from where the marker is, it's in the middle of both of the stitches. So I'm counting from here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So my next stitch is going to begin from here. So my next stitch is beginning from this stitch. My next row is beginning from this stitch. Now come to this side, also count 2 inches in, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So this is going to be where my last stitch is going to be. And so you're going to repeat exactly what you did for this part. Alright, so to reattach the yarn, I'm going to tie a knot into that stitch where the marker is. There are so many ways to reattach your yarn. You can reattach with a slip stitch or a single crochet, but I like to tie it some of the times. And then now I can take my marker out. So now begin with a chain 2, which by this time you know does not count as a stitch. Now make 1 double crochet into that stitch. Remember how we started this part? You're going to decrease over 2 stitches. Like so. And then you're going to decrease over the next 2 stitches as well. And then you can continue with 1 double crochet until you have 5 stitches remaining. Alright, so I have 5 stitches remaining. Now double crochet 2 together, and then double crochet 2 together again. Now 1 double crochet into the last stitch. You can take the marker out, chain 2, turn, and decrease in the first 2 stitches, and then work 1 double crochet into all the stitches till you get to the last 2, then you decrease. So we are repeating exactly what we did here until you have the exact numbers that you have on the back. When you have that, then you no longer do any decrease. If it is not long to this point at that time, then you only do 1 double crochet in each stitch. You get to the end, you chain 2 and turn, you work 1 double crochet, just like that, no more decreases. So once you get to this point and you have the exact number of stitches here, you no longer have to decrease for the front. You just keep going until you get to this point. Okay, so keep going with no more decreases until you have the exact rows that you have here, and then I'll meet you for us to stitch it together and then work on the leg opening. Okay, so I am done, as you can see, and this is what I have so far. Now, whichever way your work is facing, make sure that when we are stitching, you're stitching inside. So this is the front of my work. Okay, where this stitch is protruding, you can see this is going to be the front. So now I'm going to turn the work inside out like this. So you can bring your yarn through so that you're getting everything correctly laid. Yeah. Okay, so now you want to take this other side and bring it together like so. Okay, so what I'll do is to chain 1 and turn, and now I'm going to insert my hook into the very first stitch on this side and the corresponding stitch on the other side of the panel, this one. And so what I'm going to do is you can either work a slip stitch at this point. You can either choose to go with a slip stitch or a single crochet, but I'll be using the single crochet stitch. So I'm going to single crochet into all 19 stitches, making sure that I grab this panel and the corresponding stitch on the other panel and stitching them together. Make sure you're grabbing both ends. So when you turn, this is how the inside should look like. So now I want to trim the opening, so I'm going to do that with a single crochet stitch. And so right out of, you see this stitch, this very one where we just inserted a hook to join the two, just so that you're not confused. Okay, you can place a stitch marker into this side so you know that you're going to be making one stitch in there when you get there. Now make one single crochet stitch into the first one, and then one double crochet into the side stitch like this, around the double crochet stitch. That's what I mean. Okay, and then make another one, making two, then go into, so the next row will be where we did the chain two before the decrease, the chain two that is not counting as a stitch. So you can choose to go into that chain two, or be like, you see this is the chain two, so go into this part of it and then make two single crochets around it. So this is all we're doing for the edging. So into the next one, this one is where we did the decrease, so go into one of the double crochet stitches and work two single crochets. I hope this is not confusing, so you understand what I'm doing. If you don't, just watch carefully and do as I'm doing. So this is the last row of the panel. Okay, so now the corner, the very corner where this double crochet that we worked around now is coming out from, you're going to place one stitch, one single crochet into that stitch. All right, at this point you can take out that side marker, and then you're going to put one single crochet into each of the stitches until you get to this side. All right, so I am at the next panel. You see where this stitch is coming out from? Place one stitch, one single crochet into that. And so after placing one single crochet into that corner, you see right here, you can see the chain two, and then we did the one double crochet before we did the first two decreases, right? So you're going to insert your hook just beside that stitch. You can choose to go into the whole double crochet, but I choose to use the chain two space, that chain two. So make two single crochet into that place, then go into the next row, that side double crochet, make two single crochet in there, and then the next one you see the chain two beside there, insert your hook and make 2 single crochet around that side. And then the next one is a double crochet. You make 2 single crochet into there as well. So this is all you're going to be doing until we get to where the marker is. You put 1 single crochet stitch there, and then you slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. Now slip stitch to the first single crochet. Okay, so I'm going to bring my yarn through so that I can work facing the right side. I'm going to make half double crochet. So first of all, chain 1, and make 1 half double crochet into all the stitches. So in case you don't know, a half double crochet is you yarning over, inserting the hook, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all the 3. That is how you do a half double crochet. Okay, so continue and make 1 half double crochet into each of the stitches around. So this is my last half double crochet. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the beginning half double crochet to join. So for the next part, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to work front post half double crochet. I think you're learning a lot of stitches in this one tutorial. Okay, so the way you do that is just to go around the front, just like we did for the double crochet stitch, but this time it's just going to be half double crochet. So you bring the loop through all the ones on the hook, yarn over again, inserting from the back, go around the half double crochet stitch, yarn over, pull through. You've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all the 3. So this is just how you're going to be doing the front post half double crochet and the back post half double crochet until we get back to this point. So this is to create some stretchiness to the leg opening. We're going to do this row and then another row, and then we are done for this leg. Then we go on to the next one. So I'm on my last stitch, and that is going to be a half double crochet back post, or a back post half double crochet. Okay, so now join with a slip stitch to the beginning front post half double crochet. So chain 1 and yarn over, insert the hook from the front to the back around that half double crochet. Okay, like so. Now yarn over, pull through all the 3. So like we did in the waistband, every front post will get a front post and every back post will get a back post. Now yarn over and then do the back post, the half double crochet back post. Now the front. So we're going to do this until we get to the end of this row, and then we will slip stitch to join, chain 1, and then cut the yarn. So this is my very last stitch, the back post half double crochet. Now slip stitch to the beginning to join. You can chain one and pull your yarn. Leave enough tail because you will be weaving in the ends later. Okay. So this is what one of the leg opening looks like. And so you can rewind the video, watch what we did for this leg opening, do the same thing for this leg opening, because if I want to take you through this part again, the video is going to be longer than it needs to be. So just reattach your yarn. You can do that in the big, you see where we stitched the panels together? Like I showed you before, mark the one on your right. And then begin into this very one. So these are the two stitches that we joined together. So begin here, reattach your yarn. So after tying the knot, pull that yarn through for a chain one and then make one single crochet into that stitch. So just rewind, go back to the point where we did this leg opening and then do the exact same thing for this side, and then I'll meet you for us to do the chest area of this beautiful romper, bodysuit, whatever you want to call it. So now we're going to work on the chest area. So you remember the sides where our markers are in? Okay, so you're going to start counting 1 inch in. So my 1 inch is 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. And because I need to begin in a back post, I'm going to add this 7th one and mark the back post. Then come to this other side. Start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because I need a back post to finish, I'm going to add this to the stitch and then mark the back post. So this means this is where I'm going to begin and end my front panel. So you're going to reattach your yarn in the stitch where the marker is. So take that out and reattach your yarn. So I'm going to begin with a chain 2, doesn't count as a stitch, and then 1 double crochet into that same stitch. Now I'm going to begin working this front post and back post, but I will be working an extended double crochet stitch. So yarn over and bring it into the front post. I'm going to try and work over my tail. Now pull up that loop with the 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first loop. That is going to cause the extension. Now yarn over, pull through 2, then yarn over, pull through 2. This is shorter than the treble crochet stitch, but it is longer than the double crochet stitch. Now repeat the same thing for the back post. So go from behind, yarn over, pull through 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. So we are doing this till we have 3 front post stitches. Okay. So I think this is going to be my third and final extension. Okay, so now for this stitches, you're going to work one double crochet on top of the stitches, not any back post or front post, normal double crochet stitches in the middle. So for me, I have to work 25 double crochets before making the same pattern over here. So where your marker is, you can count from there. So from here we had this normal double crochet, then the front post extended double crochet, the back post. So 1 2 3 4 5, okay, plus this one making 6. So it means that you should count from here 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then you can mark that side just so that you are not confused, okay? And then it means you're going to create your double crochet until you get to this point. Then you can do what we did here for this side as well. So to create this pattern in bigger sizes or even for a preemie, I think you would need to get a standard measurement size. There's so many of those on the internet. Okay, so you can take that marker out, yarn over, and make that extended front post double crochet. Why we are doing this extended double crochet is to make sure that it is level. If you do a normal double crochet at the beginning and you do a double crochet front post back post, it decreases the stitches height, okay? But we want to maintain an even height, so that is why I am doing the extended double crochet front post and back post. Now the last stitch is a normal double crochet. Don't forget that. Okay, so chain 2 and 10. Now work a double crochet into the first stitch. So for this row, it's going to be a single crochet row. So we're just going to make a double crochet into the back post, because right now it's facing how it's facing. The front post has now become the back post. So yarn over and make a back post double crochet. You're not doing an extended anything this time, just the normal double crochet, back post, front post. Okay, because we would have to come down from the height we are on, so doing an extended would make it more difficult. So that is what we have turning. All right, now what we're going to do is make one single crochet into all of the stitches in between until we get here. So one single crochet into, for me it's 25 stitches, so one single crochet into all 25 stitches. All right, so I am at the last single crochet stitch. Now yarn over and work a back post double crochet into the next back post, and then a front post, a back post. We're working double crochets now, not singles. So when you get to the last stitch, you work a normal double crochet on top of the stitch, not around it. Chain 2 and turn. Now we're going to work the extended double crochet. So first you make the double crochet stitch, yarn over around the front post. Now because it's facing this way, it's now a front post again, so yarn over, extend the double crochet stitch, do same for the back post, and then for the front post, and then for the back, and the final front. Now you're going to do one double crochet into the next stitch. You're going to skip the one below, so you're going to come down from this single crochet row to the double crochet row, skip this double crochet, this first one, and then yarn over, go into the stitch from the front to the back, pop it up like this. We're making an alpine stitch but it's going to be extended, so yarn over and pull through the first loop. Remember, we are doing an extended double crochet stitch, so yarn over, pull through the 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you can see that the height remains the same. Now yarn over, you're going to check from the back, and then this is the stitch from the front post that we did, so you're going to skip that and then go into the next one and make one normal double crochet. Then you skip this stitch, this double crochet, come down and then do the extended double crochet in the next one. Then you look at the backs, skip this stitch, go into the next one and work a normal double crochet. So this is all you're going to be doing for this row, alternating between the front post, extended double crochet, and then the normal double crochet stitch. Okay, so now I'm at the place where I'm going to put one double crochet before I begin this. So this side is our strap. Oh, this is our strap, but it's going to extend out. All right, that is why we keep repeating this 3 front post here, because this is going to be our strap area. So remember that after doing this, I did one double crochet, so that is the same one double crochet here. Now I can begin working the extended double crochet stitch. Out to me. Now work a normal double crochet into the last stitch. Now chain 2, turn, double crochet into the first stitch where the chain 2 is coming out from. Then work normal double crochet, front post, back post, all those. So don't forget, okay? This single crochet stitch row is always a normal double crochet front post and back post, not the extended one. So when you turn, you see that you have your 3 here. Now you're going to single crochet. So now you're going to just single crochet into each of the stitches. Alright, so when you count the stitches remaining, it should be 6. Now yarn over and then go into that and do the back post double crochet. Then the front post double crochet, another back post double crochet, a front post double crochet, a back post double crochet, and then a normal double crochet to finish the row. Then you chain 2 and turn. Okay, so for this row, you're going to work 1 double crochet into that first stitch like normal. Now we're going to do the extended double crochet stitch. So now we're going to skip this and then make an extended double crochet here. Then skip that and double crochet into the next stitch. So you see all the double crochets in between of the front post that we did. That is where we're going to be working our new stitches. That is what forms the alpine. Skip and then double crochet into the next one. Alright, so that's the last double crochet. Now let's keep this and work this front post. Now we can continue working our normal extended double crochet stitch. Front post, back post, front post, back post, and then we'll finish this row. So the finishing row is a normal double crochet on top of the previous double crochet. Chain 2, turn, double crochet, and then now work normal double crochet, front post, back post, all that. So remember that the single crochet row, we always do the normal double crochet front post and back post. We don't do the extended one. Okay, because I'm going to work the remaining one off camera. If not, this video would need to have a part 2. So when you turn, you make sure that you have all these 3 front posts. Then you know you can begin single crocheting into the remaining stitches. Alright, so you're going to keep working like this until until you have 4.5, measuring from here, not from here, from the beginning. You measure from there. So once you have 4.5 inches, you can stop. So you can pause the video and then work on the remaining part while I also go work off camera, and then I'll be back once I have my 4.5 inches. Okay, and then I'll show you how I extend the strap out, and then we can finish the straps and then begin to work on the ruffles, the most exciting part. All right, so I'll see you once I have my desired length. Okay, bye for now. So I'm going to stop here and then start extending the strap. So chain 2 and double crochet into the same stitch. Continue with the extended back post double crochet. And then the extended front post double crochet. Alright, so after working this, then you work 1 double crochet into the next stitch like so. Chain 2 and turn. Double crochet into that same stitch and continue working the extended front post double crochet and back post. So 1.5 inches is going to be the neck depth. Okay, so it means that from this point you can put a stitch marker. Once you have that 1.5 inches like this, once you have that 1.5 inches, mark it. Okay, so you know that from here the extension of the strap should be as long as this measurement from here to here. So that is going to be for the back, because that is going to go in the back. So make sure that once you marked, after getting that 1.5 inch neck depth, mark that side, because the stitch from there extending outward should measure up to 6.5 inches, or whatever measurement is your neck to, or whatever measurement is your shoulder to waist measurement. Okay, for this I'm using 6.5 because it's a newborn. So the remaining strap from here going should measure 6.5. Okay, it should measure 6.5. Then we can create the buttonhole area so that would attach here. All right, so go ahead and do that, and then I'll meet you once you have your strap long enough, and then show you how to do the buttonhole. In order to see how many rows you have done so far, you can start counting from the neckline like this. So 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So that's a total of 24 rows that you have done. So that means that's when you're doing for this side, you know that you're doing exactly 24 rows before the buttonhole row. All right, so for the buttonhole, chain 2, turn, work 1 double crochet. So for the buttonhole, we're not going to do the extended double crochet. We're just going to do a normal double crochet because we don't want the buttonhole to be too big. So when you count the stitches, there are 7 in total. So you work 3 and then you chain 1 and then you skip the 1, which is this one, and then you work the back, the front post now. And so the next one is going to be back post. And then you double crochet into the top of that last stitch. And so now you're just going to continue with normal double crochet, okay? So normal double crochet, a normal double crochet front post, no extended anything. And so when you get into that chain space, you just work a normal double crochet and then continue with the back post, then a front post, and then the normal double crochet in the last stitch. So this is the buttonhole area. So it fits the hole perfectly. Okay? Alright. So at this point, if you like, you can create another buttonhole area, making it 2. But if you want, you can just leave it this way. But I'll be creating another one. So first of all, chain 2 and then work a double crochet and then a back post double crochet. So you just keep working the stitches like you usually you're doing, okay? But no more extended anything, just the normal double crochet, back post and front post. Like that. Chain 2 and turn. And then you can create the second buttonhole. Chain 1, skip the middle and then work the back post, then the front, and then the normal double crochet stitch on top of the previous double crochet stitch. Chain 2 and turn. So at this point, my second 40 ground is almost finished. And so for the last one, what we're going to do is chain 1. So when you turn, you see that this is the right side, because this is the right side of your work. So this is the right side. Now, single crochet 2 together. So do that in the first and in the second stitch, like so. Like so. And then 1 single crochet into the next, 1 single crochet into the next, single crochet into the next, and then single crochet 2 together over the last 2 stitches. And that's all. So you can chain 1 and slip stitch back into that last stitch like so, and then you can cut your yarn. So you're going to weave in these later. So we've got 2 buttonholes. Do you see them? All right, so for the next one, you're going to, this is the right side, so you're going to reattach your yarn from here. You'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into the 7th stitch from behind. You reattach your yarn into that stitch. So you're going to do exactly what you did here for this part. So do that, and then I'll meet you for us to start working on the ruffle parts. So both of my straps are ready. Now let's begin adding the ruffles. We're going to start with the waist area, and then you can turn your work, and then you can insert your hook in any stitch at all, but I like to go into the middle. So I'm using 4mm hook for the ruffles. That is 1 millimeter higher than what I used for the body. Alright, so reattach your yarn. This time around I'm going to go with slip knots. So chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. Now you're going to be placing 3 double crochet into each and every stitch all the way around. So go ahead and place 3 double crochet into each and every stitch, and then I'll meet you once you get to this point, then we'll continue to the next round. Okay, so now slip stitch to the beginning double crochet, chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch, and now you're going to make 1 double crochet into each of the stitches around, and then we're going to do that for 5 rows. So this is row 2, so you do 3 more rows. I'm going to work all that off camera, so I'll meet you once I have my 5 rows completed, and then we can work on the strap area. Okay, all right, so catch you later. Finally, on my last stitch for this row or round, and I am done with the ruffle for this part of our romper. Now I cut, and we begin the ruffle on the strap. So now with the right side facing, I want you to quickly get your stitch markers and then mark something. You see where you have your first buttonhole? Mark that very row on both sides of the strap. Alright? The beginning stitch in every row. That is where you're going to be working into. You remember those double crochets that we did on top of each other that were not front post or back post? Those ones. You're going to be working into them, like the space in between them and the front post. That's where you're going to be working your ruffles. So into the very first one, insert your hook and then reattach your yarn. So I'm going to make a chain 1 and then a single crochet into that space. Then I'm going to skip the next one, okay, and then go into the next row and make 5 double crochets into that. 6 double crochet. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you move into the next row, make 6 double crochets there as well. So you're making 6 double crochet in each of the side, okay, of the rows. 6 double crochet in each of them until you get to the last 3 rows of the before the marker. Okay, so I have 3 rows left, and so I'm going to work 6 double crochet into the next row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now skip this row and single crochet into the last one where the marker is. So you just anchored down the stitch to give it a nice curve. Now chain 1 and turn. You're going to skip the single crochet you just did, go into the double crochet and slip stitch once. Now slip stitch into the second one, and then into the third double crochet you're going to work a single crochet and then a half double crochet into the next one. And now you can go ahead and place one double crochet into each of the double crochets. I'll meet you once you have all your double crochets in place. Okay, so I'm almost at the end of this row. I have 3 stitches left, so I'm going to go into the next one with a half double crochet. We are decreasing the height of the stitches now, and then into the next one with a single crochet and then slip stitch into the last stitch, which happens to be the single crochet stitch. Now chain 1, turn, and then you're going to slip stitch right into this next stitch. 1, slip stitch into the other one, 2, slip stitch into the other one, single crochet into the next one, then half double crochet into the next, and keep placing one half double crochet into all the stitches across. Okay, so I'm almost at the end of this ruffle, and turn your work and see where the double crochet stitch is from the previous row. You put one half double crochet there, and then the half double crochet you worked in the previous row, then you put a single crochet there, and then you slip stitch into the previous single crochet. That's how you decrease the height so that it can curve to this side. So half double crochet, single crochet, and slip stitch into the last single crochet stitch. So you see that the curve is perfect. Now you can cut your yarn, and so you're going to weave this in later. So you see, and so now we're going to work on the left side of the strap. So we're going to begin at where the buttonhole is. Mind you, this is my 4th yarn. This is my 4th 40 gram. So remember the marker, where the marker is, that's the buttonhole line. You're going to insert your hook into that side stitch, and then reattach your yarn. Alright, so you're going to single crochet into this row where the stitch marker is, which also happens to be the buttonhole row, and then you're going to skip this row and you're going to place 6 double crochet into the next one. So skip here and 6 double crochet here. So you're going to repeat exactly what we did for the other strap. please sew in your ends before you start cutting them, because I've already sewn them in, but I'm just cutting those ones off because I've already sewn in all my ends. I'm not just cutting. If you do that, your work is going to unravel. Okay, so I'm done weaving in all of my loose ends. Now what is left for me to do is to fix the buttons. So I've gone ahead to check from our side markers, okay, and then from the side I counted and then made sure that this was my middle stitch. From here, make sure this is the middle stitch, and so now I'm going to count 3 front posts from here. The fourth one, that's where I'm going to be putting one of the buttons, and then I'll count 3 from here, and on the fourth one I'll put the second button here. So that's all that I'm going to be doing to get my buttons on. So I'll just do that, and then I'll come back and show you the complete and finished ruffle romper or bodysuit. So I hope that you've been able to make this romper for a baby, and hopefully you'll tag me in your creation, because this romper, if I see it somewhere, I know it is my creation because I designed it. So tag me, else I'll come for you. We'll have a big fight. Just kidding, but seriously, tag me. I want to see. So for customization ideas, you can add a contrasting color to the ruffles. You know, have a main color and a contrasting color for the ruffles. You can even blend the colors, and also you can add a flower applique to the chest of the romper for, you know, for extra elegance. And so that is all there is to it. So this is perfect for a baby's photo shoot, and also the baby can wear a t-shirt under it. You know, you can dress the baby up with a t-shirt under it, and maybe a long sleeve t-shirt or something. It will still be nice. So it's not just for photo shoots. Baby can wear this for any outing. Just make sure you add a nice headband to it. I'm thinking of doing a tutorial for the headband as well. If you want that, then comment and let me know you want it. Ta-da! So this is our alpine stage baby romper. So tag me when you create, and please like the video. It's not nice having so many views and very few likes. Is it? The button doesn't bite. The like button, it doesn't bite though. It doesn't bite. So just click on it, okay? Thank you. Alright, so I'll see you in my next one. Bye.